Morning Blitz begins now.
There we are. 6:04 on a hot Tuesday. There's no Wi-Fi in the building, and it's driving me crazy. I'm getting data warnings on my phone. I can't connect anything.
What is going on?
I have no idea. It tells me I'm connected to the internet, but I'm really not.
Oh, it says you are.
It says I'm connected. It gives me an IP address, but I cannot connect to anything.
You're not connected. I've been dealing with it all morning, too.
Okay. Yeah, it's annoying.
Like, you can't search anything on your phone if you're...
No, I'm getting
Wi-Fi
data.
toggled
Yeah,
on.
I'm getting data messages.
Yeah.
You're using a lot of data.
Yeah.
No-ish. Thanks. So, yeah. But it tells me that I'm connected. But I'm clearly not. So, there's a flaw in the system.
Yeah, because the internet's definitely working.
Yeah, if you hardwire in, you're fine. This is, real-world problems that we're all facing this morning.
Kelly, glad to have you back.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
We missed you yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, because I thought you would have got a kick out of this. We did this late yesterday, so I told Lewis, I said, we have to let Kelly hear this when she comes back in tomorrow morning.
Okay.
You remember the judge in Michigan who was dealing with the online court? They were doing it on video, and the guy was
the drunk driver
under
or the suspended license.
Driver's license, and he really had no license, but he was driving during the court case.
Yes.
So that same judge got another guy named Daryl Jarrell, of all names, who ended up getting handed a whole bunch of contempts of court because he decided to tell the judge to kiss his ass, and he kept cussing in front of the judge. I have the audio from the court.
It's trespassing. I could technically leave, and you guys could issue a warrant as long as I don't return. You can just kiss my ass.
I'm going to tell you what. You don't come here and that's contempt. That's another 93. That's another 93. That's 693s consecutive.
Poor Judge Cedric Simpson keeps having to deal with these people.
Just like being in Saturday detention on The Breakfast Club.
That's exactly what I said.
Funny
I said,
that you say that.
He's Bender from The Breakfast Club.
Eat my shorts.
You just bought yourself another Saturday.
Crushed.
You just bought one more right there.
Well, I'm free the Saturday after that. Beyond that, I'm going to have to check my calendar.
Good! Because it's going to be filled. You want another one? Say the word. Just say the word. Instead of going to prison, you'll come here. Are you through?
No.
I'm doing society a favor.
So?
That's another one right now. I've got you for the rest of your natural-born life if you don't watch your step. You want another one?
Yes.
You got it. You got another one right there. That's another one, pal.
So...
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't understand people. So he got a total of 558 days in jail just for that 30 seconds of running his mouth in court. That's over a year and a half.
Well,
I mean, who among us, though, hasn't been really annoyed and we have difficulty controlling our emotions? So you think at the moment, I just must express myself. And then within 30 seconds afterwards, you regret it. You're like, why am I such a big mouth? Why can I not control what's coming out of my mouth?
I mean, I can understand the anger issues if my name was Daryl Jarrell.
dude, your parents don't like you.
Right.
People who there's a good discussion one day. If you're a parent and you're going to name your kid some stupid ass name, you got to remember they're going to have to deal with that the rest of your life.
Right.
I think Apple would just be the cutest name. Okay, that kid's about to be ridiculed for the next 30 years of his life.
And then they're going to grow up to hate you.
Right. So rethink that whole Apple's the cutest name idea that you might have. Again, I have a nephew named Maverick. Okay? You don't think I think that's galactically stupid?
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's not a good name?
Because there's going to be a level of expectation when you have a name called Maverick.
Well, yeah,
and if he doesn't
right.
meet those expectations, he's saddled with that for the rest of his life. But again, the drunken stupor that came along with naming the kid clearly went well.
All right. Well, enjoy your time, Daryl Jarrell.
I was sorry I missed out on the what was it, the stunt that you could perform if you knew.
Yeah, which one would you do?
Oh, yeah, any stunt from a movie?
Well, it did make me think. I've always wanted to jump from like a hotel room into a pool, the hotel pool, and it reminded me of Almost Famous.
That's it. I was just thinking that.
when Russell jumped from the top of the house.
Yeah.
Into the pool. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw that. I was like, I want to jump into a pool from the roof of a house.
Yeah, there you go.
I wanted to jump something going very fast in a car.
Okay.
And I always thought about Burt Reynolds and Smokey and the Bandit jump in the river in the Trans Am. Like, I want to do that.
A lot of people wanted to do things in cars.
Yeah.
That was the big thing yesterday. A lot of people wanted to do things in cars, which I get it. Again, because the premise was you cannot be physically harmed.
That was the thing. If there was no risk,
you can do any stunt you want, and there's not going to be any physical harm or any ramifications that come from it. So the kind of was all open. But anyway, that was yesterday. This is today. Morning Blitz trivia coming up in just a few. What else? We got hall passes today. Is there? I don't even want to ask the question because I know there's no answer. Is there ever a situation that you would give Charlie a hall pass?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I didn't think so. See, I knew.
Right.
Just get that out of the way ahead of time before we get...
I'm not giving my wife one.
Really?
Really?
Even some of the situations we've discussed.
She's not going to give me one for anything.
All right, we'll come back to this in about an hour.
Yeah, we will. But there's a reason why you might for this.
Yeah.
So... we'll have to see. But we've also got tickets to see Green Day. We'll give those away just after 8 o'clock. We've got another concert announcement today. We'll do that just before 10 and give away tickets. This one part of the Blitzmas concert series. So that one will be here locally in Central Ohio. Right now, Morning Blitz trivia with $25 up for grabs to waterbeds and stuff. If you can be the first person to text in the correct answer at 99700. It was on this day 30 years ago that this event kicked off in New York. 30 years ago today in New York, this event kicked off. It was pretty legendary. Be the first one to tell us what the event was at 99700. You got the gift card. All right, so nobody has been able to answer the trivia question, so I'm going to give you an extra hint this morning. The question was, this began 30 years ago today in New York. It was a music festival. All right.
Why don't you just give it away?
I thought that would do the trick. So, what music festival began 30 years ago today in New York? We'll try again. Text us 99700.
But technically, it didn't begin 30 years ago today. It began longer than that.
No, it was on this day in 1994.
Sure, but it didn't begin. The inaugural did not happen.
Oh, well, okay, but it was a music festival that kicked off 30 years ago today. All right, tell us 99700.
Filter on the Morning Blitz 622 with Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn. I'm Lewis. Morning Blitz trivia that we practically had to give away. I think it was all in the form of the question that was read.
Maybe. Might have been my fault.
I'm not gonna. It's
all right if it was. I can handle it.
Okay.
Well, I originally said 30 years ago today this event began in New York and it was pretty legendary, and that's where I left it. And nobody got it, so I mentioned that it was a music festival.
But it still didn't begin 30 years ago.
Well, this one did. The 25th anniversary of Woodstock absolutely began 30 years ago.
But the festival itself did not begin 30 years ago. The festival Woodstock began in the 60s.
The 25th anniversary festival of Woodstock began 30 years ago. I think Kelly's going to smack us both. Anyway, that's what it was. It was Woodstock 94. In, I think is it Saugerties, New York? Is that how you say it?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saugerties, right? Yeah. 350,000 people.
That one was a big deal. 99 was the debacle.
That was a disaster. I didn't even realize in 94, guess who was doing stage announcements at Woodstock 94? Tom Arnold.
Well, that would be about right.
Isn't that hilarious? I had some audio of him talking about the storm, because remember they had that terrible storm that just turned it into a giant mud festival.
That's right.
Okay, we got a storm coming. It's pretty nice now, but there's a big storm coming. Good news, I know. And so there may be some lightning. And what you do if the lightning starts hitting is, A, you get away from all those tall things, those metal out there. You get away from that. Your best bet is to be out in the middle of somewhere out there. If it does start hitting, you get down in a fetal position. You know how to do that, I'm sure. Some of you guys are already in one. Also, if the lightning starts, put your flags down. We support whatever they're for, but put them down. Anything tall, and stay away from those bleachers over there because it's metal.
Jeez.
That would have been about the height of Tom Arnold's popularity, though.
94?
Reminds me of Garth.
Right.
Bad word, there's some bad red rope licorice circulating the crowd. Please stay away from the red rope licorice.
But I think outside of the mud and the rain, 94 went off okay.
Yeah.
Enough that they could... 99's when they lit everything on fire.
Oh, the 99 was debauchery.
That is a great documentary if you want to watch
I haven't
the
seen that.
1999
It's
Woodstock.
fantastic.
It's excellent.
Wow.
And it really makes Fred Durst look bad.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
he is quite the Richard. Not that should come to a surprise to anybody. But yeah, he was good. Gavin Rossdale had a good moment. Jewel was trying to figure out why the hell she was even there.
And Jewel was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be here.
Yeah. Her and Sheryl Crow were there so they could add females to the lineup.
Jeez.
But the thing about that documentary, and I'm glad Kelly saw it, I'm not the only one, that's interesting, is you have to think back because there were people getting lost and they couldn't contact anyone. And you're like, why couldn't they? Oh, wait, because not everybody walked around with cell phones yet. Like it wasn't... it wasn't as widespread. You had to go find a payphone someplace and everything else.
The wild thing, too, which you can put yourself in their position, there was no shade, brutal sunshine, all the porta-johns were overflowing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a really bad, it was like, what do you call it, Burning Man. Remember last year's Burning Man? It was almost approaching that.
Yeah, and then, I mean, they were just like gutting people financially for like bottles of water and everything else. Like it was insane.
But you saw the worst come out in people too.
Oh, for sure.
My God.
Absolutely.
Well, it's just mob is sort of mentality.
Yeah.
I was looking at the lineup from Woodstock 94, and man, you think about 1994 and some of these bands like Jackal, Live was there, Sheryl Crow, Collective Soul, Candlebox. These bands were, I mean, they were all, at their height. And then, of course, you had Metallica, Aerosmith, Nine Inch Nails, which all followed Crosby, Stills, and Nash. So that was kind of, I mean, the Cranberries were like one of the first bands on one of the stages. So they were just getting started. But Peter Gabriel, Chili Peppers, Bob Dylan, Spin Doctors, Allman Brothers. I mean, it was a pretty massive weekend.
The Chili Peppers had a bad moment, too, because they were trying to get Anthony Kiedis not to encourage and incite the crowd, and, he failed to do that.
You're talking about 94?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or 99, sorry, 99.
Oh. Chili Peppers playing 99, too?
Yeah, they were there in 99, too. The Chili Peppers looked really bad in that documentary, and so did Limp Bizkit. More so Fred Durst than the rest of the band, but Limp Bizkit. Because Creed was there in 99, too, which was kind of wild.
Well, Wayne Stock had Aerosmith, Rip Taylor.
Yeah.
Wayne Stock.
Pearl Jam. Weren't they? Crucial Taunt.
Crucial Taunt, yeah.
Cassandra's band.
And Ishy Beatles, and they weren't.
Ishy Beatles.
I don't think they were at Wayne Stock.
My girlfriend's back there. Lots of people's girlfriends are back there.
It's the Morning Blitz.
And now it's time for I've Got Something.
Let's see if these dummies have anything worthwhile for us.
What do you got there, Rick?
I've got a Chinese company that's come under fire here for excluding job candidates based on their zodiac sign. Now, they have different things over there with, it's the year of this and the year of that. But the unnamed company allegedly asked those born in the year of the dog to not apply for any of their open positions. So this is anybody born in like 58, 70, 82, 94, or 2006. And one employee claimed that the boss was born in the year of the dragon, and the boss believes that he is incompatible with people born in the year of the dog. So he doesn't want anybody born in the year of the dog working for him.
Well, I mean...
What? One angry potential applicant said, "What's wrong with me being born in the year of the dog? It's not like I have rabies."
Well, I mean, sometimes just certain animals don't get along.
Well,
Perhaps
that's just
dragons
true.
and dogs just don't get along.
But I mean, the astrological signs. I know there are people who put they put a lot into that, a lot of belief into that. And like, this sign doesn't get along with this sign. These signs are very compatible, and I can't go out with that person. They're a water sign. It's like, what?
Yeah, just don't entangle yourself with people who take that too seriously. Because
I
you might
will
be out
not.
the door.
Yeah,
if your sign doesn't coincide with something.
Right?
I mean, my life does not revolve around a sign. I'm sorry.
You don't subscribe to that zodiac mythology?
No.
Okay. Kelly, do you? Are you are you into astrology at all?
Not at all.
Okay.
No.
You?
Not really.
No. Okay.
I do think I've known some astrologists, and I think that they are. I've seen some that are very accurate.
You've known some astrologists?
I've known a few.
Wow. Okay.
No, but I mean, there's a couple that I've seen that are pretty accurate with stuff, but it's all in how you interpret that. Like if they say, "Oh, this is the year you're going to come into money," that doesn't mean quit your job, sell your home, and move.
You're talking about like fortune tellers.
No, I'm talking about astrology.
Oh, well,
like, hey, this month is great for Scorpios. You're going to do this. And when someone says, and they come in and they say, "Oh, you're going to come into money," it doesn't mean sell your house and move to Hawaii. That means you might find $10 in your couch cushion. So, but she was right. You came into money. Yeah. So it just, it depends on how you look at it.
Jeez.
But I know people who are like hardcore into. They need to know what their sign says, and they follow it to the T.
Yeah.
And I avoid them.
Yeah. Anyway. Got something?
I got something. U.S. Secret Service had to apologize to this woman in Massachusetts. She owns a salon, and I guess Kamala Harris was doing a fundraiser in the city last week. And so the salon owner, named Alicia Powers, she closed up her salon. They were doing a ton of Secret Service sweeps, and all the businesses had to close down. So she closed down, locked up, had her Ring camera on, and she said she got a Ring alert. She sees the Secret Service agent get a ladder and put duct tape over her Ring camera. So she couldn't see anything beyond there, except that an EMS worker says that the Secret Service picked her locks, opened the doors, and then basically used her salon's bathroom for the next 2 hours. So they were like inviting officials to come in and out. If you need a bathroom, come in the salon. And if that's not bad enough, which is fine, whatever, they didn't have permission to do that. They left without locking the door and without taking the duct tape off the Ring camera again.
Well, they are not having a good summer, are they?
I mean, that's so wild.
And you said all the businesses had to close?
Yeah, I guess in the area, wherever it was, they were, they I guess, or maybe it was just her decision to just lock up because it was so chaotic.
I just wondered if, because... like when stuff happens downtown and some businesses have to close because they close the road. Do they get any kind of
compensation
for the money they lose for that?
That's a good question.
That's not right.
You can give those guys a haircut while you're in there. Hit them up with some of that tea tree shampoo while you're...
Well, the Secret Service did apologize, so...
Oh, that makes it
I guess
all right.
Everything's fine now.
That's all you need to do. I got something.
They lift the toilet seat up, too.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I guess there was evidence that the toilet had been used.
Kelly's a big fan of her phone.
Yeah.
Did you know that the first ever...
I love how you say that, but you're the one on your phone all morning.
All morning. Always staring at your phone. What are you talking about?
But I do like it. I like that move. So go on. What about me and my phone?
Staring at your phone for work purposes. But anyway... The first ever cell phone call was placed April 3rd, 1973.
How about that?
I thought that was
73.
Later. Most people think of the Zach Morris phones when they think of cell phones, or you think of that. Some people had those phones that were in bags.
The giant bag phone.
Phone.
Oh, massive.
April 3rd, 1973. It happened when one of the engineers at Motorola, who built said cell phone, walked out onto the street and called a competitor at AT&T just to brag.
That's great. Do you know what the first ever text was? What it said?
I do, but I can't remember.
What was that? I feel like we just talked about that. What was the text?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Okay.
Was the first text ever sent by phone.
Aw.
Nice.
Well, lots happened since then.
That's not so merry?
No, not at all. Anyway, that's what I got. Bring me to Horizon on the Morning Blitz 647 with Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn, and Lewis. Nice day today, partly cloudy. A couple of stray showers here and there. 85 for the high. Tonight, a few showers to the south of us, and we drop to 62. And then tomorrow, sunny and 86. So,
nice.
Not a bad day at all. Are you guys, do you put Band-Aids on everything?
On everything?
Well, the kids in our house, like, if they get a minor scratch, oh my God, we got to put 6 Band-Aids on it. Which I've never understood. Like, I have to be like, oh man, I'm gushing something, I should probably close that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a big Band-Aid person, and I also wonder, do you feel better mentally because you see the Band-Aid and mentally it gives you peace of mind and it's mentally doing more than it's actually physically doing for you?
I want to tell you, I've never thought about a Band-Aid to this extent.
Okay. Well, there's
Ever.
a reason why I'm asking you all this. Because scientists say they developed a new Band-Aid that can heal wounds 30% faster.
I like it.
Using a water-powered electric field, the best part is they could be inexpensive, a solution if you're someone that has chronic sores that you use a lot of Band-Aids for.
A water-powered electric what?
Field.
Yeah, water-powered electric field. They describe it as electrical stimulation, and there aren't any actual electronics. They're disposable bandage with electrodes on one side and a small biocompatible battery in the other that's activated by water.
And what are we paying for these?
Well, there's no estimated price yet.
Okay.
But they are described as inexpensive.
Yeah. But it's supposedly to help you with a wound. Because, again, I've always looked at it as, unless you really need stitches, the Band-Aid's not doing much for you once you stop bleeding. Like, I get it right away. Okay, cool, because I don't want to bleed all over everything.
You don't want an infection.
But once your blood clots and your wound kind of closes, the Band-Aid serves no purpose. It's not making you feel, you know what I mean? It's not physically making you better.
Right, and you want the air to be able to get to it because that helps the
heal.
scab
Right.
eventually fall off and all of that.
But, there are some people that will leave a Band-Aid on until the scab is underneath, and then I can finally take this Band-Aid off. Well, it wasn't doing anything for you. So that's why I was asking if you're one of those people that, are heavy into the Band-Aid thing.
I like to have a box of Band-Aids around just in case, but I can't remember the last time I used one.
Yeah.
Usually for me, it's, if I have a cut on a finger that's driving me nuts because, like if I'm eating, salt, whatever, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'll throw a Band-Aid on it, but then I usually take it off at night, wash it, be done, and then don't put it back on.
Like if you have diabetes or something, your wounds heal really slowly, so that might be really helpful.
Well, that's the thing. There are some people that have just skin issues where you get little sores that just kind of open all the time.
Yeah.
Now, this whole thing, they say they're going to be inexpensive, but, compared to what? To regular Band-Aids?
Compared to a hospital stay.
Right. They got to be more than regular Band-Aids, right?
An hospital stay is going to set you back about $800. This, $80.
Yeah, they're only $20 a Band-Aid. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I feel like Band-Aid's the one thing where you can go generic on. I'm not paying $6 to have Mickey Mouse on my Band-Aid. I can...
Now, I will say this. Some cheap Band-Aids won't stick. They won't stay on. Some Band-Aids will stay on you can take a shower with the Band-Aid and it'll stay on.
But I also think it depends...
So I do want that.
It depends on the degree of the wound, too.
True.
I don't think you're going, that looks pretty deep. It's okay. No hospital. I got some Johnson & Johnson back there. We'll tape this bad boy up and we'll be fine in a couple of days. I really think you should probably get stitches. Nah.
I am going with the Band-Aid brand Band-Aid. I'm not going with the Bob's Band-Aid or anything.
Right.
No, I want the Band-Aid brand, baby.
A lot of people saying super glue, and that's now the wound glue actually used to be super glue.
Yeah.
Somebody determined that at one point in time super glue could fix your minor cuts.
Oh my God, we got so many texts, Mike from 7-Up. Super glue works well. Mark, Aaron, super glue works, and that's not a joke. Mark said, Band-Aid? No. Super glue? Yes.
We're putting super glue on a scratch or something that's bleeding?
Super
glue.
On a cut.
I feel like that's not right.
Why?
I feel like we shouldn't be doing that.
We've been doing it forever. It's been working forever.
But there's a medical grade type of glue, right? There's that's what doctors use, some type of medical glue. It's not super glue.
I'm pretty sure I've seen a commercial where a guy super glues his hand to a steel girder while he's above, and it holds him.
Or his hard hat.
Yeah, Faith said liquid Band-Aid.
Liquid Band-Aid. Now, I'll go for liquid Band-Aid. I'm not putting Gorilla glue on my arm.
Why? That stuff will hold anything.
Mike says Band-Aids are maxi pads for wimps. I use super glue.
Okay.
Super glue, really?
Yeah, you've never heard of this?
That makes
Never.
perfect sense to me.
Yeah, me too.
Just spread it on the cut, and then nothing can get in there.
Duct tape. Duct tape will do anything.
Duct tape.
In fact, if you can't close a wound with duct tape, it can't be closed.
You might be right. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work like stitches.
Wow, but if you
It
wrap
might.
enough duct tape around it,
Well, yeah. I guess it would. But I don't know if it can. I don't think it can heal under that.
Crazy glue, Gorilla Glue, Loctite, and other household glues are not formulated for use on the skin and may cause adverse skin reactions in some people. But I don't know. They're not as they're not as manly as, say, Jake or Matt or Clay.
How many things aren't really safe for us that we do all the time? You ever seen fast food restaurants?
All right. Now, Nikki says, coming from working for an orthopedic surgeon, please do not use super glue.
Thank you, Nikki. The voice of reason here. It's so wild. You guys are putting super glue on your wounds.
Darren said super glue and electrical tape.
Yes.
Jake Bray said super glue will take the pain out of or the soreness out of your cuts.
Electrical tape and super glue.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Kenny
that's
said I use
wild.
electrical tape a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. We're out there in the heat of battle. You got to use what you can do. Triage at times.
Amanda H, electrical tape. Gerald, electrical tape and dirty shop rags. Been there, done that.
Dirty shop rags. Oh my gosh.
Telling you.
All right.
Larry.
If I can live by eating something that comes off the roller grill at a gas station, I'm pretty sure super glue in my finger cut's going to be okay.
Okay. Now, Nathan, now you're going too far. This is way extreme. JB Weld, no.
Yeah,
no,
JB Weld's awesome. You mix that stuff together, you're sealed.
No, I'm not
You'll be
putting that
fine.
on. Oh my gosh.
You're not going to bleed on anything for a long time.
Dave said bowlers have been using the super glue for a long time. Slap a little on your cut, light it on fire, blow it out immediately. It's rock hard and ready to go.
Absolutely.
What?
Bowlers?
What?
Are we that serious about our bowling game?
Some people
absolutely.
are.
Some
If they
people.
got a cut.
Someone said napkin and electrical tape. I have done that when I haven't had a Band-Aid and I'm bleeding. Oh, yeah, a little bit of a napkin to make the gauze, and then you tape that bad boy up. Absolutely.
Okay, now Nikki just texted again. She's listening to us read these texts that worked for the orthopedic surgeon. She said, oh, my God, I'm having panic attacks hearing all of this.
Hi, Nikki.
No
I'm
offense,
dying.
Nikki. No offense, Nikki. That guy knows feet. He doesn't know hand cuts and fingers and stuff like that.
Surgeon, stop.
An orthopedic surgeon is a bone guy, buddy.
Oh, I was thinking podiatrist. Sorry.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis.
And now, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
A man who owns several bars in Columbus and Cleveland has been charged with 9 felonies, including rape, kidnapping, and attempted murder. Arrest warrants have been issued in Cleveland for 43-year-old Bobby George. Police say over the last year, George brutally assaulted a woman multiple times, threatened her with a gun, and beat her so badly that he had his business's nurse practitioner treat her for injuries. Bobby George here in Columbus owns Town Hall. He owns Mandrake. He's the founder of Rebel in Dublin. He has multiple bars in Cleveland. This guy is not yet in custody. A 76-year-old Connecticut woman who was scheduled to be sentenced in the murder of her husband apparently swigged some antifreeze and was found dead at her home before sentencing. Linda Casuta Bigazzi pleaded guilty to first-degree murder. Back in 2018, her husband was found dead in the couple's basement from blunt force trauma to the head. He'd been lying there for 7 months while she collected his paycheck. He was a professor at UConn. Anyway, somebody finally came over. They did a wellness check because the guy hadn't shown up at work in 7 months. They found his body. Anyway, she ended up agreeing to a plea deal that would put her in prison for 13 years. Day of sentencing, troopers found her dead in her home, and the medical examiner said cause of death was the main ingredient in antifreeze.
So just taking a drink of that, huh?
I guess taking a swig of antifreeze, that'll get you.
Well, see, I was under the impression that if you build up the tolerance to antifreeze...
I don't think that was her goal.
Well, I'm just saying.
I think she wanted
I think
any
if you-
tolerance. I think she was ready to go.
Antifreeze marinade on your chicken when you grill it. After a while, you build up a tolerance.
Yeah?
That's what I hear. I don't know. That's what I hear.
That's how Oh, shoot, from The Princess Bride. Remember, he built up all the tolerance to that poison, and then he killed the Sicilian?
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about?
That's what I'm talking about.
Anyway, we'll get back on track here. The Court of Arbitration for Sport will not hear U.S. gymnast Jordan Childs' appeal to keep her bronze medal from the Paris Olympics, despite the fact that there is rock-solid evidence that the appeal was made in under 60 seconds, which is the limit.
Why?
This is nonsense. USA Gymnastics says it was notified yesterday that their rules do not, and not USA Gymnastics, but the Court of Arbitration rules do not allow for reconsideration. They're like, we heard an appeal, we reconsidered, and that's it. There's no more. Even when new conclusive evidence is presented. So they're like, nope, Jordan Childs, you need to give back your bronze medal. USA Gymnastics says, absolutely not. We are going to pursue every possible avenue, including appealing to the Swiss Federal Tribunal.
What?
I don't even know what this is, but it sounds like serious, doesn't it? Swiss Federal Tribunal. They want the Swiss Federal Tribunal to hear this appeal. They want to ensure justice for Jordan Childs. Meanwhile, Flava Flav has offered Jordan Childs a bronze clock necklace to replace her medal if she indeed has to give it up. He's like, girl, I got you. I'm getting you a bronze clock necklace to replace it.
Look, Flavor Flav is single-handedly saving Red Lobster and those delicious Cheddar Bay biscuits. Now he's saving the Olympic medal.
That's awesome.
I mean, if that guy doesn't deserve a Presidential Medal of Freedom, I don't know who does.
He does. He's cool as heck.
Right? The world needs more Flavor Flavs.
That would be the Federal Supreme Court of Switzerland, is what that is.
And it has something to do with the Olympics as well?
I don't know. I don't know what it has to do with the Olympics.
I don't know, but I want to. That sounds like a really I would want to get on that. The Swiss Federal Tribunal. I want to hear cases that go to the Swiss Federal Tribunal.
They're all going to be
that is serious business.
I think they're all going to be in Swiss.
Yeah. In Swiss? Okay. Those are your three things.
Cedar. Broken. It's the morning blitz. I'm Lewis. That's Dick Rick. She's Kelly Quinn. We'll see partly cloudy skies today. A few showers and a high of 85. Not a bad looking Hawk Tuesday. Sorry, Kelly. You weren't in here when we started the show with a Hawk Tuesday, so I had to.
Sure, she was just devastated.
She was.
Why do you think I hung around outside the studio until after you got through your...
That's what that was about.
Yeah.
Just say it one time.
No.
One time.
No.
Give it up. Not going to happen.
Just once. If you say it one time, I'll never say it again.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Kelly did this story, told us about this last week. The two astronauts, they traveled to the International Space Station.
In June.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like 7 days or 8 days or something?
Yeah, they were only supposed to be up there a little over a week. And, and then, as you reported, they're going to be stuck there until sometime next year. We're looking at like February. It's Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams. And, it was supposed to be 8 days when they went up in June. And issues with helium leaks and thruster failures have forced the astronauts to remain aboard the space station now for, it's been over 60 days. And NASA said if tests show a return flight on Starliner to be too risky, they are going to have to wait and be up there until February and come back on Boeing rival SpaceX's Crew Dragon. Crew Dragon, I like that. And so it's a man and a woman. So it's just the two of them up there on this space station now, and they're going to be up there for months. That really messes up any plans you had back here on the planet Earth. So I saw somebody comment and said, well, if Suni's your wife or Butch is your husband, do you give these two a hall pass up there? If they decided they wanted to just get together a couple of times because they're stuck.
That would be my luck. I would be stuck on a space station for a year and a half with someone who is either completely unattracted to me or I am completely unattracted to them. That would be my luck. I got a hall pass. Keep it.
I love how every single situation boils down to how are we going to have sex in this situation? It's like you can't go 7 months without having sex with somebody else.
Oh.
I mean, come on.
long days and nights up there,
Yeah.
man. Cold.
What
It's so silly. It's just an insane proposition to me that you would give someone a hall pass because they're going to be up there for 7 months with somebody that they might be attracted to.
What if you're stuck on the space station and everybody else on the planet below you dies, and it's up to you to keep the human race going?
Well, that's another whole situation. It's not a hall pass then, is it? You're
Marriage, we have a problem.
I mean, depends on the situation.
It doesn't. It doesn't depend on the situation
right?
if you're doing a hall pass thing. You get a divorce if you want to have sex with someone else. Period.
All right, we got to get to break. We'll come back with this. You can call us 1-800-821-9970. Text in 99700. Would you grant your significant other a hall pass? Would you expect to be given a hall pass? So we're talking total now. It's going to be a total of 8 months that you're up there.
Yeah. Oh, I was supposed to be up here 8 days. I'm going to be up here 10 days. Can I have a hall pass?
Oh, yeah. Morning Blitz. It is 7:24 with Thick, Kelly, and Lewis. Is there a situation where a hall pass is merited? There's an astronaut and a female astronaut stuck on the space station, which could take a year or longer. So the question was asked, should they get a hall pass while they're up there for that long?
I love how you guys are stretching it out. It started in June, and you said a year, too, Thick.
I said next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said a year, but
Okay. Yeah,
it's going to be February.
That's hopefully.
So that's 7 months. We're talking 7 months that these people are going to be in space. They were supposed to be there 8 days. Now it's 7 months.
Right. Okay. Let's change it up a bit. Let's say they're going to be up there for 2 years. Is a hall pass merited then?
I think Kelly's not going to agree. I don't think so. But when I asked this, the one thing I was expecting was somebody to bring this up. Does that mean that the person down here also gets a hall pass?
I would think fair is fair.
Yeah, right? Of course. So you have to do that. Now, Faith said, hall pass, never. Hell no. My husband is mine and only mine. If there is an inkling of thought of that on his side, and we've had that talk, so I know there isn't, but we would have a problem. Then, and I agree with everything up to there, but then you said trust is easily broken, not earned. Well, they're not breaking the trust if you give them the hall pass. There's no trust being broken. So that's Now, if you say no hall pass, and then they do it anyway, now they've broken the trust, obviously.
Right. The hall pass is allowed. I mean, like, there's everybody that has their celebrity hall. There are people in relationships that have their celebrity hall pass. Oh.
Yeah, that's just a joke, though.
Is it?
That's
Well,
just a joke because zero
joke,
people meet their celebrity crush. 0 people.
We still don't know where somebody's hand is with Gavin Bush. Gavin Rossdale from Bush. So.
What if all of a sudden you have an opportunity? What if you're stuck in an elevator with your celebrity crush?
I want to say, if you're not joking about this, if you're being very serious, then you've got issues in your marriage. Like, literally, if you're like, hey, I'm going to take the first opportunity when I meet a celebrity to do it in an elevator, you're miserable in your marriage. There's something wrong there. Like, you need to fix something if you're so easily violating your marriage vows.
Mitchell says, does it even count or matter if you're not even on the same planet?
That's true.
Is it?
Honey,
Is that
there's
true?
no one on this planet that I would cheat on you with. Oh, wait. We're not on the planet.
Also, side note, I realize I'm taking this way too seriously, but it's like, I don't get it.
No.
Like, I don't understand why we're so desperate to have sex when we're accidentally going to be away for longer than we thought. So we need to go. I don't get it. Like, oh, my work meeting ran late. Can I have a hall pass? Like, I'm desperate here.
I mean, if you just sat through that Zoom, you'd understand.
Steve says, look, married guys have gone 6, 10, 12 months at a time without sex. You know?
Stephanie said, I'm curious as to why the amount of time apart is what warrants a hall pass for some people. I do not understand this concept, and why would a certain amount of time apart warrant,
Yeah, we had several texts from military people who get deployed for a year and a half, and they're like, and those people don't all cheat on each other. I will tell you this. Some do. Quite a few do.
Absolutely.
Quite a few come back from deployment and get divorced.
Right.
Or they come back to somebody divorcing them because they've gone, somebody back here has moved on to somebody else. And it's sad. But, I mean, I don't know. When you're apart 18 months, I guess I can see how it happened, but I think it's probably better that you ended up separating anyway, because it wasn't good.
What if your significant other has to go into a medically induced coma to save their lives and they don't know when they're going to come out of it?
Oh, man, he's trying so hard.
Is a hall pass merited then?
You did take your vows till death do us part, right? So
what about
that's
till on
I
the
guess,
verge of death?
when I'm dead, then you can cheat on me.
But it's not cheating if it's consensual. Hey, look, I'm going to be out of this for a while.
If you give him the hall pass, it's not cheating.
It's not cheating.
It is cheating. You're breaking marriage vows.
That's true.
That's true.
All right. Doug said Lewis is going to end up stuck inside a purple spaceship with nothing but freeze-dried pot roast and the Crow remake for entertainment.
Oh, God, that would
That's
be
your
awful.
life. A purple spaceship. You hate purple. You hate pot
awful.
roast, and you refuse to watch the Crow remake, and that's all you got.
That would be awful. I'm just curious if a hall pass, I threw this up on our socials too, is a hall pass merited in some cases? Some people do that. If you have a chance to run into your celebrity and you have the opportunity. Personally, I think people aim too high with celebrities. Why go for someone your odds of meeting are never going to be there? What's your hall pass? I want the girl that works at the tanning salon.
Mike Funk said no hall pass. That Hawk Tua belongs to me according to our vows till death do us part. So Mike's right there with you, Kelly.
Oh, Adam, what if you go to prison for more than 10 years? Then is a hall pass merited?
Well, he may not have a choice.
White Zombie on the Morning Blitz, 7:39. Thick Rick driving the bus. Kelly Quinn trying her best not to stab me. And I'm Lewis.
You're not even annoying me today.
Really?
No, I feel very kindly towards you.
I thought the hall pass would do me in.
Oh, heavens no. Not at all. No, you're allowed to have your opinion today.
She doesn't ever want to be in a relationship with you, but...
Someone brought up the hall pass, like, if that were you on the astronaut, you'd be up there with a dude. I would be. And he'd be like, I'm going to make you the best dehydrated steak meal you've ever had, and then we'll watch The Crow and see what happens.
Gay for the stay, baby. Haven't you ever seen Orange is the New Black?
Oh, my gosh. Well,
Nope.
Like you said, Lewis, sometimes you got to try new things, see if you like them. We had this discussion a while back.
No.
Oh, now you're strongly into marriage vows. I see.
I would be like, isn't this Skarsgård act such a good actor? Sir, I am married. I took a vow. I will not break it just because we were up here in space for a limited amount of time. Anyway, so they released the 6 deadliest jobs in America. You'd be shocked to know that radio is not on the list. Logging is.
That's got to be number one, right?
It is. Yeah. 101 deaths per every 100,000 workers if you're a professional logger. And I mean like tree logs, logging, lumberjacking, that kind of thing.
What other kind of logs would it be?
Well, I thought maybe if I said logging, someone might meant data entry or something.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I wasn't thinking
Data entry is the safe version of logging.
Can you log these account numbers?
Right, exactly.
That makes sense.
Just to clear that up a little bit. Roofers, the second biggest.
Are we falling off roofs a lot? Is that what's
58
happening?
deaths per every 100,000 workers.
Dang.
See, I don't know if it would be falling or as much as I worked on a roofing crew one summer in college. The heat up there, man, is a different kind of heat.
Heat deaths. But also, do you have like the dizziness when you stand up really fast? I can see me doing that on a roof, just like kind of bending down and pounding in some roofing shingles and then standing up and getting really dizzy and just tumbling over the side.
You mean after you've bent over? Yeah, what is that?
I don't know.
I know that
pressure.
happens to me sometimes.
Some type of blood pressure issue. I don't know. All right, so we have logging and roofing.
Here's one for Rick. Fishing and hunting workers.
Well, are we talking about like crab boats or what are we talking
I'm
about
assuming if you're talking about fishing, you're talking about the perfect
Commercial.
storm type,
Commercial
where you
fishing.
go out in the middle of the ocean and,
Right.
fish that way.
Yeah.
I would imagine because the storms and everything else, a lot of people get lost at sea still, even in 2024.
Dude, those crab boats, those are insane. they're on cold water, very, very rough water. You see them, you can see watch videos of them, and the water's flying over the boat. Like they're getting soaked and they're getting knocked around by water. And man, and when you got all these clothes on, you go in that ice cold water, you get knocked in, you're done. There's nothing anybody's going to be able to do for it. And usually they're working at night. On top of that.
Well, I mean, you get the wind and the waves and everything else. Like, it's a different animal for sure.
Yeah.
51 deaths per every 100,000 workers. This one I thought would be higher up just because we live in a world where people are so distracted when they're driving that they don't pay attention as much. Construction, 39 deaths per every 100,000 workers. I thought that would be higher. Especially now with a lot of night construction. You see a lot of guys working at night.
Yeah.
So you run into not only distracted driving, but tired driving?
Yeah, and I wonder about, road construction crews.
That's what I mean.
Getting hit.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, is that how I didn't...
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Did you miss the whole dissertation that I went on?
No, I was listening. I misunderstood.
When I said
You were just thinking like maybe at the Intel site, the construction crews there.
When I said distracted driving, what type of construction did you think I was?
Well, that's why I was confused by that. I mean, there's all kinds of construction. Building a house is construction.
Fair point.
Yes.
I think they looped it all under the construction.
I was very confused when you brought the driving into it.
What's the next one?
I know, I love that.
Aircraft pilots and flight engineers. 36 deaths per 100,000. See, I thought aircraft piloting was pretty safe.
It's not that was
often
supposed to be the safest way to travel.
How many times? When's the last time you heard of a plane going down? Seriously.
Well, wasn't there one in Brazil that just went down a few days ago with a bunch of people aboard?
Oh, never mind.
I know, but it's so rare.
It is rare. I mean, you don't hear about it very often.
Say what it said again.
Aircraft pilots and flight engineers. 36 deaths per every 100,000 worker.
Yeah, I don't know. Are flight engineers getting sucked into engines or something? I don't know.
I hope not. That's a hell of a way to go. That's a
Right?
bad day. And driving. Sales workers and truck drivers. 30 deaths per every 100,000 workers.
Well, I mean, if you're on the road constantly, you're definitely at risk for an accident more than people who are just driving to and from work.
I would think too. A lot of delivery drivers violate a lot of traffic laws, and we're going to turn down a one-way street because we've only got to get to that driveway that's right there on that one way. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of things that get violated in the effort to get someone's package or food order to them quickly.
Right.
So I can see where that could cause some problems.
I had a friend who was a welder, and he told me that underwater welding is one of the most dangerous jobs there is. And he said those guys make a ton of money if you're an underwater welder. I don't know anything about it, but that's what he always told me.
Wow, how do you weld underwater?
I don't know.
You're probably going to need something to breathe down there.
Otherwise, usually water and electricity don't mix too well, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
Salvage crews. Navy has salvage teams that they weld underneath.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they have the tools to
there's big, sometimes they got to do work on giant cables that are underwater and stuff.
What about people climbing telephone poles?
Yeah, I bet that's up there.
I would think, do you work a dangerous job? That's what let us know. I'm curious if you work what would be considered a dangerous job.
What is the most dangerous thing about this job?
Our job?
Yeah. I'm always clipping corners with my shoulder, and it really ticks me off. I feel like that's kind of a danger to my shoulder health.
If we worked for the company across the street, I would say unemployment because you never know if it's going to be there when you walk in that day. But for us, I can see that. Maybe you plug in the internet outlet and you get shocked.
A trip and fall, or
something along those. Do you work a dangerous job, or do you know of a dangerous job? Let us know. We want to hear from you. Breaking Benjamin on the Morning Blitz. It's 7:50. Thick Rick, Kelly, Quinn, Lewis. Deadly jobs. Do you work one? We were talking about aircraft pilots and engineers. Came in at number 5 on this list of deadly jobs. Steve said, I don't care how safe a plane is. When it stops and it doesn't work, you can't pull over and call for help.
Right.
And Andy said, on the average, there are 900 plane crashes a year that include personal airplanes and commercial.
Oh, okay. So I guess we only hear about the
major ones, I guess?
The big ones, yeah. And along those lines, Dominic said aircraft carrier flight deck jobs.
Okay.
So, if you're out working on an aircraft carrier.
I had a friend of mine in college was in the process of getting his pilot's license, and he had to land a Cessna on Reed Hartman Highway in Blue Ash, just outside of Cincinnati, because he had issues. Like, literally, thank God it was a Sunday afternoon and there wasn't traffic, but had to land it right there on the highway because he couldn't make it to the
That's crazy.
Airport runway. Crazy.
Matt says, I'm a truck driver. The most dangerous thing about my job isn't anything to do with my job. It's actually all the drivers out there that cut us off. Like, you can't cut off a semi. Don't do it. Remember we said one of the most deadly things that can cause death in an instant is brake checking a semi.
Yeah, agree. I don't want to cut off a semi, but at the same time, I don't want the semi to be the one that thinks he can get in the left lane and pass everything else on the road for a 7-mile stretch.
Well, you let someone else teach him that lesson, will you? I don't want you getting involved there.
Kelly, I drive a 2-seat Roadster. I'm not teaching a semi any lesson.
Hey, real quick, Kelly. Terry Lynn said orthostatic hypertension, fast change in body position causes a drop in blood pressure. So
Okay.
that's the
That's why I can't take a roofing job.
Robert said I drive a dump truck in Columbus. Extremely dangerous.
A dump truck?
Yeah. JC said the most dangerous thing about our job is psychotic fans. Okay. I can see where that would be a thing.
I've never met a single psychotic fan. I've been in radio for numerous decades. Not a single psychotic fan have I ever run across.
I've met a few, but then again, I tend to make people not like me, so I understand how that would come into play. Someone said, does being in the Army infantry count as a danger? I would think so.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Of course.
I'm a tax accountant, no danger. The danger I face every day is a very sharp paper cut. Well, those things hurt. Good paper cut's legit.
Here, so what about window washers? Yeah, like the
building, skyscraper
windows.
You know what I want to know? How deadly is it working in like the Department of Corrections? Like you're like a prison worker, a jailer, a probation officer,
we got
something like that.
We got one. She said not to give her name. She said, I am a corrections officer at a prison for men.
Okay.
So I can see where that would be dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah, I could definitely see where that
Oh,
would
look,
be.
Tracy wrote in too. I worked in corrections at a county jail. Not only is it dangerous, but the mental health of it is something very serious to look at.
I can believe that.
Derek said I do structural steel welding for the cell industry, and I'm pretty sure everyone in the industry knows at least one person who has died.
Man.
That's crazy. Zach said, I think a sky jumping instructor would be a pretty dangerous job for the instructors and the people paying to do it.
Shane said underwater welding does not use electricity. They use gas tanks.
Oh, there you go. That makes sense.
We learn so much from Blitz Nation every day.
Did you guys see James? I'm an electrician, and we had someone die working on lights in a school.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, electric, yeah.
It's so
My
dangerous.
gosh.
Somebody just texted in, how about police and firefighters? Of course.
For sure.
Yeah, very
Terry Lynn
risky.
added crane operators.
Yes. Tom from Circleville said utility locator, and we have to work on and around main roads and highways. I can tell you that a lot of people do not watch, and I've been almost been hit multiple times.
Doug says, I get into some crazy-ish every day. Well, Doug...
Oh, because he does Porta
Johns. Yeah.
Speaking of not watching, our buddy Jared Murphy sent me a video the other day. He was getting ready to cross the street. Car just turned around, looked right at him, saw him walking, and still just drove straight in his direction. Didn't stop at all. Like, that's insane.
Dude, this happened to me this morning. And the road's usually dead. There was some tanker truck coming down Old Dublin Road, and he's coming at me, and I'm going down my side. All of a sudden, this pickup truck is going to pass him. And,
like head on toward you.
Coming straight at me. And I mean, I like slowed and pulled over to the right a little bit just so that I knew he could get past and get back. And it was really damn close. And I'm like, dude, what is wrong with you?
JD Marie said she climbs communication towers, repairing antennas. I can see what that
God,
wow,
JD.
I didn't know that. That's dangerous.
Annie says bartending for 15 years has me dangerously close to going to prison due to the stupidity of humans.
Emily said, I have a friend who is a journeyman, and he had a job that required him to climb those big windmill things and repair them, and a tall welding job on skyscrapers being built. The heights, he had 2 people that he knew fall and die. That's insane.
Trisha says nursing can be dangerous. Is someone going to off you? Will a family member off you? Are you going to be stabbed by a crazy person who takes out their IV with meds? Man, really? I had no idea you worry about that kind of stuff.
Lauren P says, what about childcare? You never know what kind of virus you might come home with. I can see that. Kids are Petri dishes.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Somebody texted in sniper in the 82nd Airborne 3-man teams in Iraq and Afghanistan. Man, I do not know how you deal with that type of pressure and danger.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming. Wow.
Sarah said veterinary medicine, getting bit in the face by giant dogs. I've watched my boss get bit recently and needed 62 stitches in her jaw.
Oof. Got bit in the face.
A lot of dangerous stuff out there you don't even think about or realize, isn't there?
Right?
Crazy.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
This will give you a little picture about how high rent is in Columbus right now. Columbus residents need to make more than $25 an hour to comfortably afford a 2-bedroom apartment. That's according to a report from the National Low Housing Income Coalition, which lists the fair market value for Columbus apartments at $1,300 a month. That means city residents need to earn roughly $52,000 annually to avoid paying out over 30% of their income for housing and utilities. Well, with Ohio experiencing high COVID transmission rates right now, there is word that Ohio State researchers are working toward a cure for long COVID thanks to a large grant from the National Institutes of Health. Long COVID is a complex condition disabling millions of Americans that scientists don't exactly understand yet. Nearly a third of Ohioans once infected with COVID are still experiencing symptoms. That can include fatigue, dizziness, chronic cough, chest pain, heart palpitations, and gastrointestinal issues. The NIH has given Ohio State researchers $15 million to try to find a drug to treat long COVID and ideally prevent long COVID altogether.
I'd like to stay with the short COVID.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. A video was widely shared on social media yesterday showing employees of Premier Dental Group of Knoxville, Tennessee, reading a patient's private journal out loud in a staff area. The video was filmed and posted online by an employee. You can hear her giggling in the background. It shows one employee reading out passages from this private journal that describe the patient's thoughts on different kinds of treatment, as well as their worries about other treatment options. And she was reading this to 2 other employees. Again, it's not exactly clear how the staff had access to this journal, just likely the patient left it behind after an appointment. So they post this online. Instantly, Premier Dental of Knoxville, Tennessee is getting slammed with comments about how dare you and we will never come here again, etc. and so forth. Now, Premier did issue an apology yesterday. They haven't said whether they've relieved these employees of duty, but they did have to take down their Facebook page because it was just, completely buried in negative comments of people wanting to boycott and not support that business anymore. But
I'm sitting here looking for it.
Yeah, how I don't, and these people aren't young people. You think, obviously they're employees of a dental practice, so they're not super young anyway, but these people should know better. Reading someone's private journal for the entertainment of the internet is a wild move for your career.
Hey, maybe the blame should be on the person who left their journal laying around.
Oh, you think that's where the blame belongs?
Other people.
Okay.
No, not at all. I think that's rude.
All right, those are your 3 things.
Highly suspect on the morning blitz. It's Thick Rick, Kelly Quinn, Lewis at 8:10. Few stray showers today, a little bit of cloudy, but a high of 85 nonetheless. So, good little Tuesday. Taco Tuesday, if you're into that kind of thing. Wow. I gave you the Hot Tuesday earlier and the Taco Tuesday later. I hit you with both today, Kelly Quinn. I'm sorry.
She's just completely ignoring you.
It's all right. You do you, boo. You do you.
You do you, boo. What do you think? We got another week on the Hawk Tua thing before it's done.
What is this, last month?
Yeah. We're in the home stretch.
We hear it in the show, and that's good enough for me.
We're in the home stretch.
Jeez.
I don't fault her, though. She's trying to make money any way she can.
That's what you got to do, man.
Said
Did you just hear those rental story Kelly just did?
I know. She says she will not do OnlyFans. I beg to differ. I think when the reality TV show doesn't work out and the money's not coming in because nobody's interested anymore, I think the OnlyFans is just around the corner.
All right. Well, we will see.
We'll see.
I know you can't wait.
Lots of competition for me. So we did a story a while ago about a school that decided that they were going to implement a no black clothing dress code, essentially.
Yeah, no all black. It was in El Paso, Texas. Charles Middle School sent out a notice to parents saying that wearing all black was linked to mental health problems. Says we are eliminating a look that has taken over on campus with students wearing black tops and black bottoms. It's become more associated with depression and mental health issues and or criminality. And they got a lot of pushback from parents. Like, well, so this is determined by who, basically, you've come up with this, you've decided this on your own because, some of the parents are like, I like to wear black. I have no mental health problems. My kid likes to wear black. They don't have mental health problems. And so all the backlash from the parents has caused Principal Nick DeSantis to end that ban, for at least for the time being. It's being shelved. For now, they can wear all black. And I'm like, it is kind of odd, for the school to decide, well, this clothing is related to mental illness, so we're not going to allow it. That is kind of odd, don't you think?
Could you share the studies with me? Because, like I said when we talked about this before, throwing a bright yellow shirt on a depressed 12-year-old is not going to make any difference whatsoever.
Right. Right. And I mean, again, just because you're profiling people.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, just because you wear all black and don't like your parents does not mean you are the next serial shooter waiting to happen. Unfortunately,
it's just like a really simplified way for them to maybe appear to be doing something. And I know it's tricky. Like, middle school has got to be the trickiest.
Oh, man.
Segment of school kids to deal with. The raging hormones and the changing bodies and the all the stuff that happens there, the bullying and just the insecurities and all that is a really difficult time in life to be a middle schooler. I
think there are some schools too that are at the end of their rope because they can't do anything. You can't take too much of an aggressive learning style or discipline style because then you're going to piss off the parents. You can't, you got to be careful and worry about what other kids are going to say about other kids. I mean, it's just social media has made bullying 10 times worse than it ever used to be. I mean, I just feel like schools are just kind of at their wits' end.
Can't imagine why.
8:23 on your morning blitz. I'm Lewis. She's Kelly Quinn. That's Thick Rick. Thanks for waking up with us. So, vampires. I hear myself saying so. Anytime I hear so, we're putting $1 in the jar. I'm over it.
It's easy to do.
Oh my God. I saw this thing the other day. I was scrolling through the feeds and I saw an article in the Columbus Dispatch that caught my attention. And then I realized that this is going to be a Netflix documentary as well. Have you guys heard about this yet?
No.
There's an upcoming Netflix documentary titled Vampires of the Gem City. God willing, Corey Feldman is not involved in this, but it's going to explore the notion that Dayton, Ohio has been home to the largest coven of vampires outside of New Orleans, according to this special. Now, mind you, I am not from Dayton. I am from Cincinnati, but, I resided in Dayton. For the last 30 years, it has been home of this coven. When a man goes missing in the goth nightclub, they use as their headquarters. The case goes cold until a police officer comes forward in 2008 with a story. Basically, the logline references the disappearance of 26-year-old George Philip Gall, best known as Phil or Philip, who went missing in 94. In 2008, a police officer told the Dayton Daily News he believed Gall had been involved in a ritual. He also claimed the bar Gall was seen near, Asylum, which was on South Main Street, was a secret meeting place for vampires. The state declared Gall dead in 2002. The story was Gall was supposed to have been involved in an occult ritual in the upper floors of the bar when he was beheaded. Oh. And that head was then sold as a relic to the occultist involved, police officer David Williams told the news outlet at this time. So yeah, crazy, right?
That is unbelievable.
I mean, it's going to be a show,
It's going to be a documentary on Netflix.
Because I don't know if you've seen What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes.
But that is so freaking funny. If this is going to be a comedy, like, I'm in. I'll watch your documentary because What We Do in the Shadows is really hilarious. It's about these vampires that live on Staten Island, and it's so good.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
So is it going to be like that?
Or
is it just going to be serious about, serious vampire business?
I don't know. I wonder where it's going to be. There's a role-playing game much along the lines of Dungeons and Dragons called Vampire the Masquerade. And it's essentially based on the fact that vampires live among us and, they keep up the illusion that they're human. This game I've seen people role play this game in various bars. They used to do it when I was in college all the time, but they dress the part. So I don't know. It's kind of weird, but sometimes, the best I've always said, if you wanted to murder someone, couldn't you do it at a haunted attraction? Because people might think it's part of the show.
Yeah. I've seen that set up in movies before.
Right.
Oh,
wow, that's not just a high school kid in paint that's trying to scare me. That somebody legitimately got murdered.
Yeah.
And you would never know. You'd be like, oh my God, that looks so real.
It's like Scream.
Right.
The movie Scream.
So I don't know if it's true or not, but it is kind of interesting that, here we are just a couple of miles south and...
South of Dayton?
What's that? Of Columbus. Isn't Dayton south?
Dayton is south, yeah.
Okay.
I thought you meant we are south.
No, I mean, where Clubbin is happening
I'm
a couple
sorry.
of miles south.
I got caught up in the details there. That was really weird. Sorry for the sidetrack.
Is there
That's
a big underground cave from an old earthquake back in the day in that
A
area?
hotel, maybe. I know, from on a fault line.
All right, can they turn themselves into bats to get away? Because you can on What We Do in the Shadows, and that's the best part, especially when they got caught by animal control.
Well, now... And I know who knows if this is real, but it's in the movie The Lost Boys. They could fly, but they didn't actually turn into bats when they flew, did they?
They did not turn into bats.
Of course, we never really, whenever they were flying, we saw them point of view, from their point of view.
Right.
Well, we never actually saw them flying, so maybe they were bats.
That's because the budget did not have enough money in it for them to change into bats if that were the case.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. We'll just let people assume.
Jay said that Prince Charles is a direct descendant of Dracula, Vlad the Impaler. I can't pronounce it, but Charles still stays in his castle in Transylvania most of the time.
Well,
I will tell you that Bram Stoker's Dracula is one of the scariest books I've ever read in my life. Ever.
Mm-hmm. That person's real. I just don't know if they were really a vampire.
Which kind of vampires are we getting? Because if we're getting the Lost Boys or True Blood style vampires, I might be a little worried if I'm walking in the bar. If we're getting the Twilight Sparkle in the Sunlight vampire,
What We Do in the Shadows vampires, cracking jokes left and right, always making mistakes, trying to fit in their big capes. In society.
Can I get Celine from Underworld, Kate Beckinsale in that tight leather Matrix outfit? I'd like her to come after me.
People who, and there are people who claim vampires are real, and I've heard talk shows with them and stuff like that. They always say that the stuff you see in the movies and on TV isn't real, and that vampires, they're like, yes, I do have to drink a little bit of human blood once a month and stuff like that,
These
but I don't kill people.
Getting regularly probed by aliens.
Right. I'm just telling you what you hear. They're like, you have to drink a little blood, but we don't actually kill people and we don't bite people. I'm like, whatever, man. Come on. Get the hell out of here.
We'll see. It'll be interesting to see if this is true or how they present this.
I will say that in What We Do in the Shadows, they do have to drink the blood of virgins, so they always go to where the D&D people are meeting.
That's hilarious.
It's the Morning Blitz.
It's time for another edition of Normal or No.
Before we get into Normal or Nope, we have to congratulate someone who picked up a pair of tickets to check out Green Day.
Luke Sherman from Logan. He was the 25th caller when he heard Tool there, and he got the tickets. And, man, you're talking about Green Day, Smashing Pumpkins, Rancid, all playing that show? It's going to be a good lineup.
Carlos said, your phone system stinks. I haven't been able to call in since the number changed. This morning it's been a little difficult because of the Wi-Fi.
Well, it's fine now, but we haven't said it for a while, so I'll just throw it out there so you guys know. We got a new digital phone system. So when we do a contest and we have a ton of people calling in at the same time, depending on what kind of phone you have or your provider is, will determine what happens. And you might not get a busy signal. It might just disconnect. You might hear a strange message saying we cannot complete your call as dialed. It is the right number, 800-821-9970. When you get that weird thing that happens, just keep calling, because people are calling, and as soon as I hang up, another person's calling in. So it does work. It's just not the same old busy signal you were used to back in the day.
All right. That being said, normal or nope? An example. Dudes who wear yoga pants to church with nothing else.
Nope.
I think you know
Please,
the answer
nope.
to that.
I hope it's nope.
Flesh-colored yoga pants at church.
Ever seen that at your church,
That's Walmart
Kelly?
wear. It's not church wear.
Hey, church is all accepting.
Yeah. What do you guy walks into church? You think this is people at Walmart? What are you doing?
Excuse me, sir. Jesus does not approve of your outfit today.
Jesus does, but we don't.
Right.
All right, I have one.
What you got?
Normal or nope? Walking around the house brushing your teeth.
Oh, my God.
100% normal. Do it every day.
I do too. Like, I'm a multitasker, so I don't just want to stand there doing nothing else when I'm brushing my teeth.
Yep.
So I will usually go into my bedroom. I'll check out my outfit that I'm
Yep.
wearing. Does this look okay? Now, there's just a short period of time before you really need to spit.
Yep.
So, but you can get a little something done.
You can,
So
especially
I do
it helps if you're in a rush to get ready for something. You can do multiple things. You can be brushing your teeth and get some other stuff situated and,
Agreed.
return an email or two or whatever.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Normal. 1,000% normal.
Yep.
You look at us like dumbfounded.
I'm like, man.
What, you need all 2 minutes with your toothbrush in the mirror?
No.
He's connected to the wall, aren't you? Are you plugged in with your
Yeah.
toothbrush, or is
No,
it
it's charged.
It's
Industrial
charged.
thing that he
Okay,
plugs
yeah.
off the ceiling.
You know that stuff flies around, right? While you're brushing your teeth.
How violent are you brushing your teeth?
All right, but dude, you can't help it. Those bristles, when those bristles, seriously, you never noticed?
I don't have an electric toothbrush. I have a plain old manual toothbrush.
Same
I
thing.
keep my mouth
Same thing. But it's the same thing.
I'm not like, I don't brush my teeth with my mouth wide open either.
Yeah, I don't foam.
How do you
close my
brush?
mouth.
I've never been able to brush my teeth with my mouth closed.
Yeah,
so.
I do. I
Foam
close
at
my
the
mouth.
mouth. I don't foam at the mouth.
Me neither.
Well,
I mean, that's when you know it's time to
Obviously, it's normal.
spit.
2 out of 3 people in this room do it. My wife does it, and she knows it drives me crazy, so she will do it around me on purpose. Like, I'll be sitting in my office at the computer, and I'll hear her walk in, and then all of a sudden I'll hear that sound and turn around, and she's just sitting there brushing her teeth, staring at me because she knows it F's with me. Her warped sense of humor.
I am really curious. Now, let me ask you this. Because to your point, Thick Rick, every now and again, I get little toothpaste flecks on my bathroom mirror.
How about that?
So I guess I don't think about those. I don't care about the flecks. I don't care if they fly over on my bedroom floor. Who
I
cares?
get 'em
a
on
couple
my
specks
side
of
wall.
toothpaste. Who cares?
And spittle.
So I don't really care about that, but I think that you do because you won't even flush your toilet without closing the lid first. So I get why you would care about that.
I can handle some toothpaste,
Flex.
if you just, as opposed to poop flex.
Yeah.
If you
flying around
just
my
pee in
bathroom.
the sink, you don't have to worry about flushing the toilet.
Oh my God.
I don't care about flex. I just don't care about flex of any kind in my own home. In other people's home, though, I might.
I'm not
care
wrong,
about
am I?
flex.
Doug says he holds his teeth in his hands when he brushes them. It's much
Doug's the one who fixed his own dentures via a YouTube video, and now he has a wonky tooth. Isn't that what he told us?
crooked ever since. Yeah.
Okay.
Tell you what, as someone who has to get a partial denture this year because my nasal cavity's too low for them to do an implant.
Yes.
Oh, wow, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
that does happen.
So I can't, I don't want to go through that process, more painful than it is. But as someone who gets a partial denture, I'm starting to wonder if denture's the way to go. Just pull those bad boys out at night and go.
All right, I got one.
What do you got?
Normal or nope? Waiting for the water in the shower to warm up before getting in.
Oh my gosh, yes. Who's
Yeah.
walking into a cold shower?
Right?
My
All the
wife
time.
gets in the shower and turns the water on.
No.
Really?
No.
Right.
Okay, it's kind of like a cold plunge, though, and people do that.
Well, I don't know if she just steps back from it until it warms up.
Yeah. Cold plunges are supposed to be good for you. I don't know if they are, but in reality.
Yeah,
but
getting in and then turning the water on.
No,
I start the water. I start the water and then prep.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I turn the bath water on, and when that gets warm, I flip the shower switch on, and then I can jump right in, baby.
Yeah, I'm not walking in there like that.
Have you ever accidentally jumped in the shower when it's been too hot or too cold? That is really
then I move back against the wall because I'm like, scalding.
So we have in our master bath, we have a shower only. Just standard.
Is there a chandelier in that master bath?
Everybody has a master bedroom and a friggin' master bath.
Let's go in the master bath under the chandelier. It's shower only. We draw the bath in the other room.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, so it's stand up on. There's no bathtub. It's just a standing, shower. And because you mentioned turning the water on and then flipping the shower switch on. That's what made me think.
Sit down shower you have in the other.
But I will turn that all the way on hot and wait for it to get hot, and then I'll turn it down to where it needs to be.
Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, you let it get completely hot and then turn it down.
All right, hottest it can be.
Right, normal.
Yes.
Very good.
Yep. Same here.
Heather, we're gonna have a some kind of intervention or something, I guess.
We'll come back. I have one more, and it's kind of gross, so we'll share in here in just a second.
What?
Are we coming back?
No. What are you talking about?
Oh, I thought we were coming back. Looking at the time, I'm like, we're coming back. Okay, but we're not. Peanut butter on bread dunked in milk.
Just a peanut butter sandwich? Is that what we're talking about? Or just a slice of bread with peanut butter?
Yeah, you know how some people...
not even toasted?
Yeah, some people dunk... I don't do this. Some people dunk milk, piece of bread in milk, but put peanut butter on that bread, dunk it in milk, and enjoy it as a snack.
Completely fall apart? How do you... I mean, are you going to eat it with a spoon, or what are we doing?
I guess that's what people
dunk it. It just soaks it up a little bit in the bread, and you shove that bad boy in the old...
Better be quick.
My grandpa... my grandpa passed away when I was very young, but I remember he used to do this before he went to bed. He would have a piece of bread and milk at night.
A piece of bread and milk?
Yeah.
That's an interesting snack.
I don't know. Maybe this was like a Great Depression snack that they all enjoyed?
That's what I think with a lot of these kind of weird snacks is you ate it as a kid, and then you just sort of developed a real fondness for it, and you like it as an adult.
Yeah.
I developed a huge fondness for... tuna, fish, and noodles. Tuna and noodles.
Tuna noodle casserole?
The casserole.
Yeah, I love good tuna noodle casserole.
Dude, we ate that when I was a kid, and I absolutely love that meal.
When the kids are gone, because they won't eat anything that they consider casserole, when the kids are gone, that is usually one of our go-to things.
I love it. Yeah. I love it.
Straight up.
All right, now we're getting text. Jeff Smith, I only have one bathroom, Richie Rick.
Exactly.
And then
probably doesn't have a chandelier in it either, does it?
Doug wrote, and he's probably doing this in your voice, Lewis. James, have you drawn my bath yet, James?
Exactly. The bath.
Oh my gosh. Drawn. Popcorn Pam's like my wife. She gets in and then turns it on.
Yeah, no. I'm not doing that.
Thomas turns the water on and then uses the bathroom while it heats up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That is not normal. Scalding or freezing ourselves before we get in the shower, not normal.
Jade says, my ex does full-blown peanut butter and jelly dipped in milk, especially the Uncrustables.
Oh.
Yeah, see, no.
I mean, what's the difference between dunking like an Oreo in milk? I mean, it's
an Oreo doesn't become...
Oreo's not going to sog up like a
No,
bread
I gotcha. It's disgusting, but I'm just saying people do dunk things in milk, so who cares if it's a sandwich if they like it?
So where are we? Are we a nope or are we a normal?
I'm a nope. That's
no
gross.
on that.
I'm a nope, too.
I'm a no on that.
And now, three things you need to know before you go.
City of Columbus is again offering vouchers to help you buy an electric bike. Now, depending on your income, you can get up to $2,500 toward the purchase of an e-bike from a participating local business, plus an extra $150 for safety gear. Now, there is some level of subsidy there for residents making all the way up to $150,000 a year. But the purpose is, according to Columbus City Council President Shannon Hardin, that, for people who don't own a car, having an e-bike can really improve access to jobs and, other necessities. So it's a really, neat thing to have, I guess, outside of the harsh winter months, but that would sort of open up your possibilities in terms of where you could find a job, etc. So, we'll help you pay for them. Like I said, there are income requirements, but you can get help all the way up to $150,000 a year. So that's pretty good. You could get help with an e-bike if that's something that you might want or could help improve your life and access to a job. So anyway, you can hit ColumbusEBikeIncentives.com and they've got a little form for you to fill out and they'll let you know what you qualify for.
Wait, but I'm $150,000.
Yep. You can get a certain amount of money covered if you want to buy an e-bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was just looking here. They're anywhere from 500 to 2,000. There's a couple that are 3 to 4, but they're very rare. They're really high end. Like they look like you could drive it on the freeway.
Yeah, and these are like local businesses selling e-bikes, so they want to support local business, and they'll go up, like I said, up to a certain amount. Looks like $2,500, which would be, like you said, high end.
Yeah, well, it looks like a solid one's about $1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of a cool idea if you don't own a car and you really need to get around. I sort of like the idea. All right, new polling from AARP shows former President Donald Trump with a 10-point lead over Vice President Kamala Harris in Ohio. Now, since 1964, Ohio has chosen the winning presidential candidate, and that was until the 2020 election when Donald Trump won the state but lost the election to Joe Biden. Now, nationally, the latest polling out yesterday, this one by the Morning Consult, shows Kamala Harris up by 3 percentage points over Donald Trump. All right, ad slots for the 2025 Super Bowl are almost completely sold out already.
That's crazy.
We haven't even started playing football yet, really, in earnest. And the ads are almost sold out. Apparently, the Fox network is leveraging the high demand to price 30-second commercials at more than $7 million. And they are also asking when you purchase that 30-second ad that you commit to an advertising package including other Fox properties. So not only are you paying for that Super Bowl ad, you got to buy you have to make ad placements on other Fox entities too. Any other stations networks owned by Fox or cable stations.
It's a once a year
streamers.
thing with the biggest TV audience of anything else on television, so they're going to get, max out of it.
Yeah. The game, of course, broadcast from Caesars Superdome in New Orleans on February 9th. We'll get a good New Orleans Super Bowl next year. And those are your 3 things.